This week's episode of the Wrong Advice Podcast is brought to you by Abby and Marie. Abby and Marie are a husband and wife team curating furniture from Bauhaus designs, mid-century modern, postmodern, and recent vintage. Abby and Marie starts with the classics and then throws in some fun pieces. Right now, they're really into sourcing vintage museum exhibition prints and vintage IKEA. They believe that good design can come from any era, it's just a matter of choosing what best suits your style. Head over to Instagram at Abby and Marie to check out their page and make sure to give them a follow. And thanks again to Abby and Marie for sponsoring today's podcast. Welcome back to the Wrong Advice Podcast. I'm your host, John Pacciuto, and I'm very excited to have the one and only Mr. Kristian Todorovski in studio today for the pod. Kristian, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
So excited to have you on the pod. Can you give a little introduction to the listeners to who you are?
Yeah, my name's Kristian. I am an influencer for men's fashion and lifestyle. I come from a small little country in Europe called Macedonia. I moved to the States when I was 9 years old, and here we are like 18 years later.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What was it like being a little kid moving over from foreign country? I'm assuming you didn't speak English?
No, not a lick.
Yeah.
No, it was bad. I remember as I could like try to romanticize it, but I was very homesick for a while because I mean it was just my parents and my sister, so my whole family's still back over there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So for a long time, I had a tough time dealing with missing my cousins, aunts, grandparents. But over the time, you grow up, you get used to it.
Mhm.
And yeah.
How was like the language barrier at that age? Like, I'm assuming you had like ESL classes and shit like that.
Yeah. So I had ESL for about 3 or 4 months.
Oh, no, that's not bad.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. I learned pretty quick. I was also young. I was 9 years old. But I remember, I think hello, maybe. I think that's about it.
Nice.
And I remember it was like all the time in recess, like I would just be sitting there and I have imagine just you're listening and it's like gibberish, like a language you don't understand. So for a while until I learned, thank God I learned quick. It was tough, but after a while, like you just kind of sink into it and it went well.
That's cool. I would imagine as a 9-year-old, first time living in the States, you didn't have dreams of being a fashion influencer. Talk to me about sort of like the experience going through like junior high, high school, and then like obviously as your influencing career sort of began, like what was that like sort of like from, 18 to now?
Yeah. During high school, I had hoop dreams.
Oh, really?
So I played ball.
Okay.
And I trained
Were you
a
good?
lot. I was good.
Be honest, yeah.
Yeah, I was good, but I wasn't hoop dream good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I had my aspirations, but I was not at that level.
Yeah. I played football, so same. Like I wasn't going D1.
Yeah, like you wanted to.
But I did, yeah. I
probably wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah. If I ran better than like a 4.951 40, I probably could have.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean I had the height and everything. I just the skill. But so I really didn't think about anything but that for a very long time. From kind of I think from like 8th grade to like senior year.
Oh, okay.
I was just like locked. So no thinking of like modeling, fashion, influence. Like I always liked to dress nice, but I wasn't really too thoughtful of it. Like I would just search it up to see like what people are wearing and I'd put something on. And then after high school, which I fractured my right ankle, like my last year of high school, and I was debating if I should. I had some offers to play, but I didn't go through with them. I ended up going to community college, and at the same time, I was like, I think it was my 19th birthday. I asked my parents, or 18th birthday. I don't remember exactly. My gift was a photo shoot with this photographer that had went pretty viral. He was in my town. He was in my high school.
Oh, shit.
He moved out to Cali, did his thing. We did a shoot together, and I forget how much it cost, but that was my gift.
Yeah.
For my parents. And those pictures I started posting on Instagram, put up some hashtags or whatever it was. I like searched up like agency hashtags for scouting, put some hashtags, got hit up by some people, and ended up signing with a mother agency out in South Africa, 3M Models back at the time. And then I signed with Request, which turned into Next, and it was just a from then it spiraled. But as far as fashion content, that didn't start until 2 years ago and some months.
Hmm.
March 2 years ago. So
And it just started with like you posting like a little OOTD on Insta or TikTok or one of
yeah,
those.
it was like just a fit check. Like
Yeah,
I can't even tell you, it was kind of seamless. I didn't really plan for it. It just kind of happened, and I think it came from me probably seeing other people doing it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like anything else.
yeah,
And I was like, that's cool. Let me, I like getting dressed.
yeah.
It wasn't anywhere what it is now, fashion wise, like or sense at least. But yeah, it started like with no plan and just kind of
That's pretty cool. What was like the first piece of content, photo, or obviously like your first couple photos got you signed as an agent, as a
yeah,
model, which is cool.
yeah,
Like, what was like the first piece of content that you created that like went viral, or that you were like, holy shit, this is
yeah.
led to a lot of followers or something? What was that
It
like?
was a simple like put the phone down, walk away from it. I
Yeah,
just had like kind of an outfit similar to this. I had jeans on, a leather jacket, my boots, and I kind of just walked away. And it was funny because at the time I was seeing agencies for modeling still, and it was actually with Eric. He had sent me to one of the agencies in New York, and on the way back I was gonna miss the bus, and I was like, should I stop, make a video real quick? I don't know. Should I do it? And I was like, you know what? Last second, like Port Authority was a block down. I like put the phone down, did blah blah blah, ran to catch the bus. I caught the bus, and I put the video, and it went kind of crazy.
yeah. And well, like, what kind of numbers did it do?
I think 10 million
Jesus
on
Christ,
TikTok. Yeah,
that's fucking
yeah,
crazy.
nuts. And I always think about it. I was like,
You didn't
what
do
if
it.
I didn't do it? What if I just ran to the bus and I was like scared to miss it or whatever?
I love that attitude, number one, because like obviously everyone aspires to have some social media following, be able to make money on the internet.
Yeah,
Like obviously everyone, it's the dream, right?
for
Right.
sure.
But the process of getting there is just like as lucky as that can be. And I love the sentimentality of just post it, like just share it,
Yeah,
like whether it's fit checks, whether it's
yes.
photographs, like whether it's videos that you make, whatever it is, like if you're doing something, just share it. Who the fuck cares? Like what's stopping you?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of like people. I mean, even when I first started, there's always those people that are
Yeah.
like, it's cringy, it's this, it's that.
Yeah.
Like,
Shut the fuck up. You're
like
hating.
yeah, like if I don't know, the reward is much higher than like the risk of being clowned or
Yeah.
whatever the case.
I went viral like pre sort of TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff. So I used to write for a website called Elite Daily. I don't know
Mm,
if you remember that site. It's still around, but it's been sold like 10
I might
times.
have heard of it, yeah.
And I wrote an article. It was so cringe now reading back on it. Now it's so fucking terrible. But I wrote an article like why chivalry is dead from a man's perspective. And it went fucking viral. Like
Yeah,
I got interviewed by Cosmopolitan magazine,
wow,
Huffington Post. Like I did all these
amazing.
crazy things. It went viral, like millions of shares on Facebook and shit. It was nuts.
That's crazy.
Led me to literally
And that was
nowhere.
before this
Way
whole
before. This is like all Facebook days. And nothing really came of it except like I got a lot of hate like on Twitter,
yeah,
like my Facebook messages were on.
sensitive topic.
It's a very sensitive topic. Now, listen, I wrote it from like I would say like a feminist adjacent way, like
Oh,
women
okay. Yeah, I
not like
pictured, yeah.
accepting the love that they think they deserve, kind of thing,
Mm,
right?
mm, mm.
But man, everyone thought I was like a bigot, asshole, sexist, like whatever. And I remember thinking like I need to delete social media because I was like I just was
Yeah.
doing this on my own, on the side, having no thought process or whatever about it. And you read these comments and you're like, fuck me, like everyone hates me. How do you like sort of handle like the hate, especially because you're just doing like these little fun videos, like
Yeah.
sharing your love of fashion?
Honest to God, um, I've gotten a bunch of them, but I don't know if I personally just don't focus on it,
Yeah.
or I think the love outweighs it,
Okay.
and it's always been nice to like, I try to focus more on that, and I feel like you have to be thick-skinned.
Yeah.
Like, I think modeling taught me that early.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of no's, you get a lot of rejection, and though that's not like people talking about you, it's still it makes your skin thick, and I feel like reading things now, it's like I don't take it personal because that's something someone's dealing with, and that's how
Yeah.
I picture it. So
I credit you that because you're pretty young to have that mentality, because I think it takes time to realize that people who are
yeah,
just like lashing out on the internet behind,
yeah,
a
you know, like
fucking, it's like,
it's a
what's this really
computer, or
about, man?
yeah, you know, you're dealing with something, and I hope God helps them. And I got no animosity,
Yeah.
you know.
It takes real easy to be like, a keyboard warrior. It's just like, just so unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious about like the evolution of your style and your sense of style and
Yeah,
sort of like the journey through fashion, because I would describe your style as like classic men's sort of like the all American guy, but like you
yeah.
also dress sort of like classic from a different sort of generation
Mm-hmm.
clothing wise.
Yeah.
How has like your style sort of evolved over the last, call it, 10 years or whatever, and like what do you look for when you're buying, shopping, thrifting, etc.?
Yeah. Well, when I was in high school, or before I kind of started my whole, even when I was modeling, really, my sense of style was like, in my eyes now looking back. I mean, it's kind of like everything else. Like you said,
Yeah.
when you read your script that you wrote at the blog was cringe. Like it cringes me out. You wear certain things, but that's just how things are. And I feel like over the years, especially since I started with content, I actually dove deep into fashion, and like not in a technical way, like fabrics, and like I'm
Sure.
not that type of guy. Like,
Aesthetically.
yeah, aesthetically, I take a lot of inspiration from like obviously like the 50s, 60s, even 70s, like sometimes. And I think I just kind of, I don't know, like James Dean, like you said, the American look. It's like the old school white. Like I would love to just wear a white tee,
Yeah.
jeans, and boots like all the time. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
so we met doing a photo shoot, I don't know, a year ago,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And there was like one of my favorite photos are just that whole white tee look. White tee, whitewashed
Literally,
jeans, like some boots,
it's
like
so
so
simple.
classic American, yeah.
That's like, yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things. But I do like suits, and I love the Armani era in the 80s
Hmm.
with the big shoulders, and like
Yeah.
I
Like
feel
all the
like
suits I had as a kid.
yeah, literally,
Yeah.
yeah, the big shoulders, like nice straight like pants. And nowadays, there's a lot of tailoring, and I feel like that's missing a bit, but that I love dressing that way. And of course, I take a lot of inspiration, I think, from Elvis.
Hmm.
Like his that's my more extravagant looks, I guess you could say. Like if I
Yeah.
have an event or whatever the case, it all depends. But yeah, I take a lot of inspiration from the old ages, I
Yeah.
think.
No,
Yeah.
listen, I appreciate that. I think, I'm not so familiar with Macedonia and the culture,
Yeah.
but it's close in proximity to Italy. I grew up in an
Yeah.
Italian family. I felt like as a kid, we always wore suits to church.
Hmm.
We were always very presentable when we were out in public. And I think that probably culturally, like,
Yeah.
reaches out into that area as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am curious, like, so in a job and industry like influencing and fashion, it's probably easy to get influenced by other people's style trends and stuff. So like,
Yeah.
how do you look at like what's going on style trends wise and either like adapt it to your own taste or try to be your own sort of, style beacon?
Yeah. I love versatility,
Hmm.
and I know I we just talked about like how that's like my main way that I love to dress, but I do love to incorporate little things, like, I mean, this even the crochet like polo I'm wearing right now. These are big now for like
Huge.
summer.
Yeah.
Within the past year and a half, probably they've
Yeah.
blown up,
Yeah.
and just to incorporate certain pieces into my style, uh, but still keep it me.
Hmm.
I think it's easy when you're on social media, and now I have all my peers that I see, and I take a lot of influence still from people that I know, and I think it's easy to fall into a trend trap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I know street style is huge right now, the baggier, stuff. And though I love it and I love how it looks on people, the most I would probably do is like it would be just taking a piece and incorporating it into my style instead
Yeah.
of, just fully on like, okay, now I'm gonna dress fully street style because it's the trend.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think that's important.
I think that's crucial too, because like as a person, like listen, I don't consider myself fashionable at all. I literally am. If I could wear jeans and t-shirt every day, that'd be great. as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm 38 now. I think I need to just take a little bit step up in terms of like the outfits that I'm putting together, right? Like I need to like be mindful that I shouldn't be walking out of the house in mesh shorts. Like I don't
You
think
could.
I know I could. No, listen,
It could look good, man.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I've started looking at like my wardrobe and like getting rid of stuff that I haven't worn in a couple years. Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
like trying to evolve my own personal style, and it's cool to see guys like you and other people like on the internet giving inspiration for other people who like
yeah.
don't have a rudder,
I
right?
appreciate
So
that.
if you're like someone like me who's very comfortable in jeans and a t-shirt, like how would you advise someone? Because I know you do styling for other people.
Yeah.
How do you advise someone to sort of develop their own personal style?
Um, I think it's kind of just knowing your body. I
Hmm.
think that's the most important thing, and I've learned that over the past 2 years. It's like I could put this pair of jeans on, this shirt, and make it look completely different. Like, I have it tucked, I have the belt on, I have the boots with the jeans, and it's like I could have simply left the shirt untucked. It would look different.
Hmm.
It's about playing with your body and how your body's proportions are. And I think that's probably the most important, like the silhouette of how your clothes fit you, picking the right clothes for yourself. Um, but in the simplest way, I would say for someone just starting, I feel like just don't try to do too much. Maybe find an influencer or someone, even a celebrity from the past or whoever that you like their style, and slowly just try to incorporate it into yours. And you don't have to copy it per se, but you know in the beginning it's okay to like that's how I did it. I would look at people, I'd be like, what are they wearing, until
Yeah.
you kind of get a groove for yourself, and then you can start experimenting and doing your own thing with different pieces.
Yeah, I like that. I think the thing with style is like, I think if you're comfortable in what you're wearing, you'll feel
100%.
confident,
You'll feel
right?
great, yeah.
Yeah, because there are times where like, listen, I could stand to lose a couple pounds, you know what I mean? But it's like
Hmm.
there's times when something fits me great and my confidence is through the roofs. Other times if you're like tugging on something and you're feeling really
Yeah, you
like not
feel, yeah.
that confidence dissipates. So it's like if you can incorporate something into your wardrobe that makes you feel comfortable, you'll feel
Yes.
confident.
Yeah, exactly. So like just like I said, like just see what you like, see how you feel in it,
Hmm.
know your body, and I think over time, like you start, and being confident is like the biggest thing. Like you could put on the best outfit, and
Yeah.
if you're not confident,
Yeah, you won't look good.
you won't look good. And it's
Yeah.
the weirdest thing. It's like, we all have this like energy around us that we just give off how we feel, and you have to, I think, feel confident in
Yeah.
whatever you wear.
Oh, dude, I love that because it's so true. Because I have extremely high irrational levels of confidence, but I think that comes off
Yeah,
and I think that's probably why I feel comfortable a lot of times, no matter what I'm wearing, which is cool.
that's amazing. Yeah.
It's like a cheat code. It's a superpower
It
if you
really
can
is
like,
now. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it's always been, and I think, yeah, just like you said before, mesh shorts. If you're confident in those mesh shorts, they'll look good.
yeah.
Like, you know
Well,
what I mean? Like
yeah, it
it.
depends. I don't think I feel confident in them, but like
Mhm.
someone who like has got a good fit and can throw it together and looks
Yeah,
good, like yeah, I get that.
yeah.
I think like I'm just reached a point where I need to just grow up a little bit from a style perspective,
Style
right?
perspective.
And what that really boiled down to is like figuring out what my style is, like
Yeah,
what I want to wear, how I want to look, how I want to present myself. I
yeah.
found a couple brands that I really love their stuff. So
Hmm.
I incorporated a lot to my wardrobe, and it's like at first I was like, fuck this, these are $50 t-shirts, fuck, these are $200 jeans, and I'm like, fuck, this is
The
crazy.
prices start.
Yeah. But like, and then I realized, like, I used to have, I'm not even exaggerating, dude, like 200 t-shirts. Like, it was crazy. So I've just started going through my wardrobe and getting rid of shit that I haven't worn in a
Yeah,
while. And like, you can invest in smaller quantities of high level stuff that you'll have for years.
yeah.
And I
Building.
only recently learned this in the last couple of years.
Yeah, building that. It's the capsule wardrobe, the capsule closet. It's like you can have 5 white t-shirts, high quality, instead of like 30 white t-shirt,
Yeah.
like from that'll look like crap, like
Yeah.
two, 3 times of wearing them.
Dude, I spent probably 2 years trying every white t-shirt on the market. Like I
Yeah,
bought them all.
yeah,
I bought
yeah,
them all. I finally
yeah.
found one that I love. I'm gonna gatekeep it.
You're
I'm not
gonna
telling people.
gatekeep it?
Yeah, no, fuck that shit. I
You
don't want
gotta
people.
tell me after.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Tell me
No, the
after.
brand's great, and I love them a lot. And their stuff is like I'm at the top end of their sizing because I think
Hmm.
I'm broader and thicker than their typical. They're if
Gotcha.
you're wearing a large or a medium, it's probably perfect for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Me at the XL and sometimes double XL, it's like just within my measurements, like because
Gotcha.
I'm big and broad. But
Yeah.
their stuff is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Good.
totally agree, dude. I literally took years to find the perfect t-shirt because it's
Yeah.
hard.
It is, and a good t-shirt, like I said, is very. It's a necessity because you could just put on a good t-shirt, some jeans, and you'll look good
Mm-hmm.
if you
And
feel good in it.
if you feel good, you look good.
Yeah.
From a brand perspective, obviously you've had the wonderful ability to work with a million different people
Yeah.
and some dream collaborations and shit like
Insane.
that. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, dude.
Who do you like if you had to rate like your top five, whatever? You don't have to put them in any number order, but like when you are approached by a brand, like what do you look at from their, aesthetics and vibes that makes you want to be able to partner with them?
Yeah, I mean, one that immediately like stands out for me is the Wrangler.
Mm-hmm.
I worked the Wrangler, and being that I love that Americana look, and I've worn them always, you know what I mean? It's just I love a brand with some history and heritage, and feeling like in some way, even if it's just a video, I could be a part of it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And it goes deeper than just like a brand deal or just, let's work together one time. Like I really want to, dive into brands and actually work with them, with the team closely, like whatever the case is. I want to create something that one resonates with me and two resonates with the brand. So when it is a brand that I resonate with already, it's like seamless, you know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? So
That's the
that's
dream.
yeah, that's but yeah, a lot of brands, sometimes you work with them once and that's
Yeah.
that, and then down the line in the future you will again. But yeah, building that kind of relationship and having a brand that believes in my vision as much as their own, you know?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you make your money on the internet through,
Yeah,
social media,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Influencing. Do you have goals or aspirations of clothing lines, of building out collections, anything like that?
Yeah, and it's funny, before I started any of this, I still have the fabric at home. Yeah, I had plans of starting a clothing company in like 2000. It was back when I was modeling, 2017, right when I started modeling. I still have the designs. I had like this weird flannel. It was like a weird long flannel thing that was like also with a hoodie, and I thought I had like the craziest best idea.
Yeah.
But which probably would do pretty good in a streetwear brand if they do it correctly. But um, yeah, I've had and now obviously that I'm doing more men's fashion stuff like directly with my content. Uh, I have a lot of things planned. Nothing that is so set, and I don't want to just,
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
something that is not, going to be in motion. But yeah, definitely the ideas are there and they're flowing
Yeah.
recently. Yeah.
That's cool. It's funny because like as a photographer, I for probably 2 years was like I'm absolutely never gonna do video. I'm never
Yeah.
gonna shoot video. Like I have no desire to do it. And I got my neighbor is an artist, and I
Uh-huh.
shot like this short doc on him, and now I got bit by the fucking video bug. It's like
You know?
for a while I was just like putting myself in a box, like this is my box,
Yeah.
this is where I live, this is where I belong, and I never thought that I could escape that box,
It's
right?
easy to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much easier to do that. Pigeontail yourself into a position and say, like, that's where I
That's
belong.
all I do.
And then without having tried that, I never would have fallen in love with it and now want to do it all the time. Can you relate to that sort of style wise too? Like taking risks from a style perspective and like, if you don't try something once and either hate it or love it, you wouldn't know how to like evolve from a style perspective?
Oh, for sure. I mean, with style, especially since it's so like when you put something on, a lot of the times, when we go out or whatever, you're like, how do I look? Or
Yeah.
Now I'm pretty confident with myself that I'll put on whatever I want and I don't think about it twice really. But I do remember times where I was like, yo, like, are these jeans too tight?
Yeah.
Is this shirt fitting okay? Like, are these boots too much? Is this heel too high?
Yeah.
You get all those thoughts, and that's one of probably these type of boots, like with a higher heel.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Plus you're tall already.
I'm
So
already tall, and putting on boot like this is just makes me taller, and they're not the most comfortable, obviously, because
Yeah.
they're higher on the heel, and I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those things, it's like, but I'm all for trying.
Yeah.
Like we talked earlier, like even with the social media stuff, it's like if you want something, you have to just
Try.
try it,
Yeah.
go for it.
Do you ever get like burnout? Because like your job is to create content, right? So
Yeah.
like you are directly compensated by it. Like, do you ever like not want to post? Do you ever like not want to like not post an OOTD? Like, does it ever feel like a job to you, or are you still sort of very much in the honeymoon phase?
No, I mean, if for me personally, I'm a very simple guy,
Yeah.
and I feel like sometimes the life is pretty extravagant. There's,
Yeah.
the events, all these things. You got to post, post, post. And I mean, even right now, I think I haven't posted in like a week, I think.
Oh
And that's,
shit.
yeah, and I I just go with how I feel. If I feel like posting, I don't want to make it a job, like you said. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
want it to be like, feel like, I have to post, I have to post. Because then if I don't love it, I'm not gonna do it. I just know myself.
Yeah.
So if I ever feel like I've been doing too much and it's not feeling fun, I just take a break. And
I respect that a lot because I think like and any sort of creative endeavor, the draw to the social media app is so strong. Like to
yeah,
take a week off is like, oh my god, he took a
yeah,
week
it's
off. Like
crazy.
it's
Yeah,
hard, especially
you
when it's your
feel that
job.
pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel that pressure. I'm like, dang, like, this is how I'm making a living. Like
Yeah. Right.
I gotta post, post, post. But then I'm like, dude, like I have this outlook on it that it's like, if I'm not gonna enjoy it, and if I feel like I have to post, 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 I'm just not gonna do it, for whether it's give myself 2 days off, 3 days off, 4 days off.
Yeah, it's like a regular job. You know, people
Yeah,
have weekends just because it
that's what I'm
happens.
saying. Like
Yeah,
weekends, I honestly don't touch my phone.
that's great.
Like if you follow me, like you'll see, like on the weekends, now you'll notice if you even, like go on my page at all or see like my stories, you'll notice on the weekends I don't post.
I
It's like,
respect that a lot. I think
yeah,
that's great, especially because you earn a living off of it. To
yeah,
like put it in its place and put it away, even if it's just for the weekend or a week, like you're
yeah,
saying, that's great.
yeah.
It's scary. It's
No,
pressure.
it's terrifying.
How
That's
how
like,
do you deal with like so because you're earning an income based on like your platform?
yeah.
How do you deal when like content doesn't do well, it doesn't get the reach? Like, do you care? Do you actually think
Of
about it?
course I
Yeah,
care. Come on. Anyone that says they don't care,
they're lying.
lie.
Yeah,
One, especially if it's your source of income and your life basically financially. Um, yeah, you deal with that, like but I take it from like a strategy perspective instead of a personal perspective. So I'm not like, oh, like I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing well. I'm like, how did the algorithm change? What can I do? I go
okay.
do my research on like influencers that are doing insane, blowing like videos or like going crazy. I'm like, what did they do? Not in terms of style or fashion, but in terms of social media and business. You know
Right.
what I mean?
The duration of the
How
content.
long is it? What type of sound did they use? All the little marketing tricks, what type of hook, whatever the case. I try to, study the game.
Hmm.
And because that algorithm, I mean, you could post the best video ever and you just
7 people see
completely
it. Yeah.
get lost in it.
Yeah.
And especially I've noticed, when a lot of the influencers that I know, that I follow, the content creators, all post like the same time every day. It's their job. So
Hmm.
like everyone's posting. So it's easy when someone's following 20, 30 influencers, let's say, and they don't see your things. So you gotta strategize.
I like that. I have a love hate relationship with social media, obviously, because
Yeah,
like everyone wants the million followers.
yeah,
I don't know that it would change my life or anything, but I started looking at it more analytical like that as like a
yes,
job and less as like this is making or breaking my career.
yeah,
Because when I look at the shit that I've done in the last couple of years, it has nothing to do with the number attached to my name. A lot of people say
exactly.
I can't do XYZ because I don't have X number
Yeah,
of followers. That's such a toxic mentality.
yeah, dude. That's the thing, and I feel like those people that get into influencing or social media or whatever the case, I feel like they're the ones that are gonna have a tough time with it
Hmm.
because like if their validation comes from people, engaging and liking and following and all that, there's gonna come a time where even that's gonna you know, it's not gonna matter. So then they're gonna be like, well,
Yeah, I
this
think,
wasn't it.
yeah,
What was I looking for?
yeah, right, exactly. I think you have to realize and come from it from a perspective of the thing that I'm doing is the thing that matters.
Yeah,
What happens when it's out in the universe doesn't matter, right?
yeah,
Like
exactly.
if that video didn't get 10 million views and it got 1,000,
Yeah,
like your life wouldn't have changed.
yeah.
But at the same time, you would have just kept going on doing the thing that you were doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I did content before it blew up for like a year, I think.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and or yeah, 8 months, like about a year, and like I was getting, nothing
Yeah.
life changing, but I kept doing it. I enjoyed, I enjoyed thrifting a lot in the beginning because I had my clothes, but like we said, I didn't really resonate with them anymore. So I thrifted a lot because it was cheap. I didn't have a lot of money. It was cheap. I got crazy clothes for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cheat code.
Yeah.
And I had fun with it. I kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and then blew up. Like the stuff that I got in that video, the boots were my old boots from like I don't even know when, that didn't even fit me back then. Yeah, like a family friend gave them to me and they didn't fit me until I grew into them. My jacket was like $9 from the thrift, gorgeous like leather
Damn.
jacket. My jeans were Levi's from I think eBay I got for like $30.
Shit. The whole fit
But
was less than
but
$100.
yeah.
Damn.
So it doesn't, yeah, it's nothing. It didn't take anything major, but it just took me to, like persistence. I just
Uh,
kept posting whatever.
I listen, dude. I love that. I think there's so much to be said about the perseverance of like just posting and posting and
Yeah.
posting. Like recently, I like posted a YouTube short like a year ago.
Hmm.
It got 0 views for a year, and then all of a sudden now it's getting like thousands of
That's
views.
amazing.
It's like just
It's
post the
just the
fucking shit.
weirdest
Just
thing.
share it.
Post
Like
it.
who knows?
If you like something
Mm-hmm.
and you do it anyway, find an easy way to record it
Yeah.
and post it.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
dude,
like
I totally agree.
the biggest advice I can give
I'm
anyone.
curious how your family, coming from a
Yeah.
small country immigrant family, like how they reacted to the success that you've had in social media.
They've always been so supportive.
Yeah.
Always. Even when I had hoop dreams and they
Yeah.
probably knew it wouldn't happen
Yeah.
and I was just
What are they supposed to tell you?
blind
You're
to
gonna,
it,
yeah. Right. Yeah.
they were always supportive of everything I've done, and that means a lot. And I think even as a kid, when you're being supported, you grow into a confident person. And yeah, but it's like this thing because like I said, I come from like Macedonia is like this has 2 million people.
Shit. Oh
It's
man.
small,
Teen Time. Yeah.
tiny, and I come from a small town. It's like the touristy town with the beaches, and like this stuff doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like like it's I haven't done anything crazy per se, but even just like 100,000 followers, 140,000 followers, and people 10 million views on a video, like that type of stuff. My parents have just been like, "What is
That's
going
five
on?"
times the
Like what?
population of Macedonia.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's more people than the country I'm from, so it's crazy in a way.
Yeah.
But we just keep on trekking and
That's cool. Like I've always found like, again, cheat code, having a family that supports you, having friends that are on your side. Like not everyone's lucky to have that, but
yeah,
I'm very blessed similarly that, without my family, like God knows where the fuck I would be at this
that's what I'm
point.
saying, man.
Yeah.
It's like I I don't know. Everyone's story, everyone's fate is different, and I feel like some people thrive without having that support, and they have that fire
That
inside
great.
them.
Yeah.
And some people don't thrive when they have the support because they're just like
I've got
complacent
to,
or
yeah,
whatever.
totally.
So I feel like it really depends on you
Yeah.
and on what you believe in, kind of.
Oh, I completely agree. What was like their reaction to like your first big like money dollar brand deal, etc.? Like, you were like, I just made this on this one thing, and they were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I remember it was pretty recent actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. They I don't know. I feel like they were just like
That's crazy.
can't understand it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't either. I mean, there's no complaints. Like what I do is, it's fun for me. I'm blessed by God to be able to do it. And I feel like they feel the same and they're just like, like anyone. And like when you go into the entertainment industry and you keep going up and you see celebrities and you see movie stars, actors, and all these things and how much they make. And it's just like, I feel like even for them, it's just always mind boggling. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I don't think that's something you ever get used to.
Yeah.
Like so I made like a video, you know,
Yeah.
and it's
With my
just
cell phone.
yeah, with myself in it, and
Yeah.
for a brand to be willing to pay a certain amount of money for that, it's like God bless, man. Like just blessing. You just feel like blessed.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't make money on the internet. I mean, I guess to some degree I get booked by people through
Hmm.
it, but yeah, when you look, obviously it's very well documented, the kind of dollar figures that influencers can make.
Yeah.
It's like fucking crazy life-changing money.
Yeah.
All you got to do is like, listen, any matcha companies want to come out there and sponsor me. I'm just kidding. I don't like matcha, but you know what I'm saying?
Get them going.
Yeah, right.
Just have some right here. Play some correctly, and you'll get it.
Absolutely. I'm curious. So, like, you've reached like I would like to say like a threshold of like this point in your career. Like, you've been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
You just like recently had some major wins and successes. How do you go about planning like the next phase of your career? And like, do you look at it sort of like chapters? Like, if you're like on your third chapter right now or wherever you are, like, where do you go about planning out like the next phase of your career?
That's one thing that about me is I don't plan.
Oh,
I don't.
just go
I
with it.
go with the flow a lot, and that's kind of how this all happened. Like I said earlier, of course I have like certain things that I would want to do, um, on the creative side of brands and possibly my own and all these things, but I don't stick to like I'm not at home writing like, okay,
This is what I'm doing on
this is
Tuesday.
yeah,
Yeah.
like this is year one, year two, year three, or chapter, and who knows, maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. A lot of people probably say it's a bad thing.
I think it's a good
Um,
thing.
but yeah, I live my life through faith, so
Oh, good. I like that.
yeah, that's kind of how it's been, and especially the past year and a half, 2 years, I didn't plan for any of this, and it went well. So
Yeah.
you know,
You're a pretty humble guy. I would imagine that's from your faith.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to think so, yeah, and my parents have always raised me that way, and I'm super, super grateful that that's the case
Yeah.
because I don't like the opposite of that. And a lot of people in the, in
There's a lot
entertainment
of
and
ego in the space for sure. It's
yeah,
understandably so. Like when you attach hundreds of thousands or millions of people behind your name, like it's easy to identify status.
yeah, yeah. And you can't let yourself fall into that. And that's why when we talk about like, we just talked about the craziest job offer, whatever deal, or the followers and all this stuff. That's what I think I try not to pay attention to it much
Mm-hmm.
just for that because a lot of people get caught up into it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's easy to get caught up into it,
Totally.
because as humans, what we crave is attention. I
Yeah.
don't care what anyone says, that's what you crave.
Totally.
When you walk into the room, you would love if everyone's like, "Yo, hey, what's up, John?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a good feeling. So I feel like if you let yourself get wrapped up and you don't have faith, um, could be pretty bad.
Dude, I totally agree. It's funny because it's so easy to judge yourself against other people's successes,
Yeah.
especially in your business, but even in mine, like comparing myself and where I'm at in my journey comparative to other people, what they're doing versus what I'm doing. And I always go back to like about a year ago, a kid I went to high school with like sent me a really nice message and he was like, dude, he's like, you're doing all this cool shit, man. Like it looks so amazing. I can't believe it. And I'm like, I haven't done anything. Like, what are you talking? Like, and I didn't say this to the guy. Like I said this to my sister and I was like, he's like telling me how like proud he is of me and like I'm doing all this cool shit. I'm like, I have not done shit. But like
Dude.
the other people.
Dude, you hit it on the nail, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like that daily.
Yeah.
Like it's just the weirdest thing. Is that the imposter syndrome? Is that what they call it?
100%.
Is it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from. I guess just we all have our own goals and stuff. And I think from the outside when people look in, they think differently than what it is,
Mhm.
And that happens with social media. It's like you're looking at other people, you're like, yo, you never know. The people that you're looking up to could be going through some of the worst time in their life
Absolutely.
or some of the best time in their life, but it's just it's a weird thing.
I always say like nothing about social media is real, and like
Yeah.
some of like like you said, most famous people on earth like put up a facade,
Yeah.
and if you're able to be grounded and humble and confident and happy in your own skin, it doesn't matter what the number is next to your name. It doesn't matter the money in your bank account. Like, as long as you're like a happy person, you're living your life the way that you want to, I think that is significantly more important than any of those things.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. And I think people lose sight of that, especially in the
It's easy
influencer
to,
world.
dude. I catch myself all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when am I going to hit this number? Like, how am I going to get this much? It's like, it sucks.
Yeah, you just can't dwell on it.
Yeah.
Because
It's okay, like on a micro scale.
micro scale.
Yeah.
You know, it's normal. We're humans. You think that way. Like we talked about the, engagement and if your page is doing good or not.
Yeah.
You think about it, but you don't let it get you to a point where you're like sulking for
Yeah.
days or, things could quickly fall.
Like you said, one video
Yeah.
could change your life, and it
Just
could
keep
be
posting.
it could like I use the Casey Neistat example all the time because the dude literally vlogged every single day for like I think 3 years or something crazy
Yeah.
like that. And in the beginning, his views weren't there, like he wasn't getting millions of views per video. But like over time, you hit like a tipping point, right? And I don't know if you've read that book by Malcolm Gladwell. It's a great read, but in essence, it basically says like at some point you're going to reach a critical point and you're going to fall into the thing that you want to be, right? And so like for
100%.
someone like you, it was this one video. Could have been your 300th video that you
Yeah.
posted. For me, it could be like the 5,000th fucking photo I share. Who knows? You never know. But it's like if you stop, it's like that meme if you ever saw like the guy underground
With the diamond.
drilling for the diamonds, yeah? It's like that could be your career, and like wouldn't you fucking hate yourself if that was the case?
Yeah, I think the answer here is persistence.
Persistence is key.
And it's funny, my dad always said that to me growing up. And I was like, yeah, I know. Like, yeah, I know, persistence. But then like when you see if you do something and you do it well for a long enough time,
Success will follow.
It will come.
Oh, I totally
It's
agree.
inevitable.
Yeah, it is inevitable. And it's like if you have to believe that it's inevitable.
Yes,
And-
that's
and-
the big thing.
And not tie yourself to a thing.
Yeah.
Where like for a long time I was like, if I don't reach this number by this point, I'm done. Like this is stupid.
Yeah.
But it's like then you give up all of the joy that I get out of doing the thing. Right?
'Cause
Like
you have the end goal in mind.
mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't plan much.
Yeah.
Because if I started planning, I feel like it would, you start thinking about different things. It becomes like a goal-oriented, like a, I don't know. You just fixate yourself too much.
Yeah. The example I always use is there's like many famous people who didn't gain fame or success until they're in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s. It's like you don't know when it's going to happen, but if you give up, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
You have to keep being persistent.
Yeah.
You got to keep trying.
Yeah.
And dude, there are so many instances of people who could have done great things had they just kept trying.
Just kept
So,
going.
not
And
to be too
believing it's possible.
right, not to be too philosophical, but it's like at the end of the day, like, do you want to work hard to get something, or do you want to just give up and like
Yeah.
punch a clock 9 to 5 and be fucking
Yeah.
miserable?
I mean, for some people that works, and for some people
God
it
bless 'em.
doesn't. God bless. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Everyone, like I said earlier, has their own way, their own fate, and I think keep going. If you love something, you just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it.
Amen to that. I
And
love that.
believe it.
Oh, believe it.
Believe it.
I'm curious. Do you have like a favorite season from a fit perspective? Because like
yeah.
I hate the fucking summer because like I'm sweating nonstop
Yeah.
24/7. So
Yeah, summer's tough.
it
man.
sucks.
I
It's
think
the
it's
worst.
the toughest. Yeah. It's cool when you figure out different fabrics,
Mhm.
linens or light cottons or
Yeah, I feel like
rayons and
I
all.
can't rock linen.
You definitely could.
Come on,
Come
man.
on,
I don't
man.
agree.
Don't play with me.
Listen, all
You
right.
put on
Next,
some-
next time, Eric's gonna laugh. Next time I come in here, I'm gonna be rocking a linen shirt. He's gonna be like, dude,
but
go,
it's
go
like,
to the cabana.
you know what it is? That's
me
the
a pina
thing. You have
colada.
to. There's ways to wear it.
All right,
It's-
fair.
Different occasions have different.
Yeah.
You could wear linen.
To me, like for me personally, like my wardrobe is perfect for fall and winter.
Fall and winter.
Comfy.
You don't like spring?
If it's cool, like
Yeah, like the early
65
spring.
degrees. 65
Early
degrees is
spring.
like my max. Like,
Yeah.
because I can rock a t-shirt and be comfortable. Like, dude, it's 97 degrees, 100% humidity. It's
Yeah.
terrible. I don't want any of that.
Yeah, I think spring is probably my favorite though. I
Okay.
mean, of course, fall, winter, you can
Yeah.
layer, you could do all these things.
Yeah.
I love that. But the thing about spring is you could put on long pants and a short sleeve
Okay, I'm with you.
and feel
Same.
good. It's not hot, it's not cold, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And I guess that comes from me just loving that simple look, like jeans, boot or whatever, sneaker, and like a nice top.
I'm with you on that. Like, yeah, short sleeves and pants. Like, that's what I rock
That's
pretty much all the
you know
time.
what
Yeah.
I mean, fall you could do it too.
Yeah. It depends how cold it is.
Depends what month.
Um, I just blanked on what I was gonna say. From a wardrobe perspective, we were talking about a capsule collection, like
Yeah.
certain pieces. Like, what are like your like staples that like will never depart from your wardrobe?
My staples, my leather jackets.
Okay, how many do you have?
I have
13 leather
no,
jackets.
no, no. I actually don't have that many. I think I have 4 or 5,
Okay.
but they're all different.
Mhm.
So I have like a big black leather one. I have a nice brown one, which is the one I thrifted for like
Okay.
$9. One of my favorites.
Nice.
Then I have a really 70s kind of skinny brown, light brown one. And then I have a trench kind of leather. And I think I have that's 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are my
Okay. So
yeah.
leather jacket staple, never leaving.
Leather jackets and my jeans
Okay.
and my boots. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Well, you make a lot of fits with
you
that.
can make so many. I think if you
So it's mostly the top accessory that will come in and out of the collections.
yeah, definitely the shirts.
Okay.
Different button downs, different type of camp collar, different, like all these different shirts. I feel like that's the thing that I mostly change in my
Okay.
wardrobe.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm curious what your thoughts are on like I don't know what we want to call it, like the cowboy revival or whatever, but I feel like
Mhm.
cowboy aesthetic is huge right now. Everyone's
It's been
releasing
for like the past
couple years, right?
yeah, a year and
It's
a
like
half.
the
Really.
Yellowstone revival for the cowboy aesthetics,
Yeah,
right?
it's like every time I think of Cowboys, I think of this bar, Ray's. Have
Okay.
you been to Ray's at
Haven't
all
been
in the
there now.
city? It's a great bar. But I have some friends there, and it's like that's like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where Wrangler had an event.
Oh, sick.
So it makes sense. But I love it, man. I take a lot of inspiration from Western wear.
Uh-huh.
I love the button downs that they, how it fits the body with a nice jean. I love the Canadian tuxedo and the boots, I don't think you could catch me with
Cowboy hat?
with the cowboy hat on outside. Maybe if I'm feeling a little crazy or if
Yeah.
it's for something specific, but I love it. I mean, and I think some people really sink into it and it looks good.
I'm curious what your take is on accessories because you have like pretty minimalistic approach. You got
Yeah.
2 rings, you got 1 necklace. I
Yeah.
see no watch. Like, what is
Yeah.
like your aesthetic vibes? Accessory
I have
vibes.
these rings is I either okay, so it depends on the fit. It's either silver or gold.
Okay.
And that's how I started every time. Like I have the belt buckles silver, so I'm like, all right, let me put my silver rings on. I have a Casio, an old Casio that I wear that
Mhm.
is like doesn't work, beat up, but that's like my go-to. So I'll do a Casio, pinky ring on the same hand, and this one. It's a Gucci ring from my girl that she got me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then these two, it's actually 2 necklaces. I wear all the time, no matter what. These stay on.
Okay.
And basically, I just cycle the watches, I guess.
Yeah.
And I have 1 gold ring. That's about it.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
So
I
pretty
don't-
minimalistic approach to accessories.
Yeah, I remember when I first started putting accessories on. I never wore rings or anything. I would like put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and like it
Yeah.
would just be blinged out with like silver rings. And you grow into your style, and I figured out I would put on another ring here and here, but nothing too bulky. I like slim watches. I like, my pendants are very slim. They're nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah, I'm a big watch guy. I have
Yeah?
bought, sold, owned
Really?
a
Yeah?
million. Yeah, I'm a huge
That's
watch
awesome.
guy. So like today, I'm wearing a 1 of 20 from a small creator in
Really?
Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, just a guy who owns
That's
a watch shop.
amazing.
It's Weiss watches. Used to be based out of Los Angeles. They're in Nashville now, and
Beautiful, man.
I have a watch problem. So I try to match like my strap and to my shirt
To the
or my pants.
shirt,
Like it's always
yeah.
like color coordinated. But I fucking love watches.
No, I
have a
love that though
problem. Yeah.
because I don't do too much color on watches. So it's really cool because it's a lot of detail and it
Yeah.
takes a lot and it's nice.
Well, it's nice. So this is a blue face watch. So I could wear it with like
Mhm.
brown strap, a blue strap,
Yeah.
a NATO, gray, white,
Yeah.
and being able to tie it into whatever I'm wearing is nice.
That's the
But
best.
I also have like, a lot of fucking watches.
Yeah, you probably have so much choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
have-
problem.
I think I have how do you even pick at that point? You know what I mean?
So it's a great question because like Eric and I are, my studio mate, we were talking about it and I was saying that for me, my style has evolved a lot from a
Mhm.
watch perspective. And I've been blessed to have owned like every watch that I could have hoped to. Daytonas, Submariners, like whatever Rolex that I wanted, and Panerais and Cartier and like whatever. Like I've had whatever I want, and my vibes change a lot. So like right now, like I'm very into micro brands and small, limited edition pieces because I like being one of the few people that have something.
Yes.
And there's obviously something to be said about all of these incredibly huge brands that produce a lot of something. But for me, like right now, I'm not in on Rolex. I'm like out on some of these huge manufacturers because I just don't feel the intimate connection to the piece. And like I like knowing that there's 20 of these.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's made by one guy.
People.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, even with fashion, like what I was saying before, like with brands, it's like feeling that connection with the brand, whether it's whatever the case, like whether it's a historic thing or like a limited thing, it's so important. And I feel like it's that's so cool, man. I didn't know you had that many watches. And
Yeah,
stuff.
I got a problem.
No, it's not a problem.
Watch podcast coming soon for sure.
Why not?
Well, it's like something that I'm passionate about,
create
right?
content on watches.
Yeah, well, I've been one of 1,000 people that do that.
Yeah, I'm one of the 1,000 people that do it too.
Shit. That's all right. Fair. Good idea. Yeah, no, you're right.
Hey,
you're not
when
wrong.
I started, I started kind of late, I have friends in it, and actually Eric knows him, Denny. He's been doing this for years, OG. And he he's been doing it forever, back when it wasn't cool to do it.
Yeah.
And
that's respectful.
I started
I love
when, yeah, it is very respectful. And I started in a time, 2 years ago. That's when people were really, making men's fashion content, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like crazy.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if it's because like I interact with your content, so I get pushed a lot of it.
Probably.
I love an OOTD. I love a get ready with me. I'll watch a girl go through a 25 fucking step.
Me too.
Fucking whatever.
Me too.
And I find it fascinating.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm gonna do it. It's not for me, but it's like I like the content. Like it's I don't know if it's relaxing or whatever, but like I like people picking outfits out, putting it together, talking about the fit, like while they're doing it. And I don't consider myself a fashionable person, but I just enjoy consuming the content.
Yeah.
Which is probably an indication that I should do something with watches because I fucking love them.
I think you should, man.
Yeah.
Like we just talked about.
Gotta just fucking do it. Just do it. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, dude, I'm incredibly thankful that you came on the pod with me today. Big fan of you as a person. Obviously, we've known each other for about a year now. I can't wait to see what's like the next on the horizon for you. I think you're a good person. You're humble as fuck, and can't wait to see the next step.
I'm so happy you had me. This is my first podcast. Actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's
nice.
my first podcast.
Nice.
So I'm excited to be here, and ever since we shot together, I knew you were a cool dude, and I'm just hyped. And I hope you start something with the watches, and maybe we could do a video together one day.
Hell yeah. Sounds good, man. All right, take it easy. Later.